Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of GMG Reviews. Today we're looking at a latest expansion for Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team from Games Workshop called Arena. Now, Arena is an interesting expansion. It's not what you would typically expect for an expansion for a miniature war game, in that it's not just rules, it's mostly missions, and it actually feels like an organized play kit that is available for purchase. So I'm going to take the camera down and show you all the components, and you guys can take a look for yourself actually what comes in the box. And then we'll go through what it actually sort of like means, because I'm excited about this. Not necessarily just for this. I think Kill Team Arena is going to be really cool. It's a way of having everything that you need to go to a tournament and play Kill Team Arena, or play games of Kill Team competitively, basically. So you can play games, not campaign games, not linked, but that are symmetrical for the most part. You and your opponent both have the same deployment, the same terrain. They're fairly close quarters, and in a short amount of time, so that you can easily play 4 games in a day and run through a tournament of just light, small Warhammer 40,000. But what I'm really excited about what this means is, or what this could mean, is for the potential to do this for other game systems. This feels like a test bed for doing organized play kits in the future that are more than just a free downloadable PDF with some TO advice and a bunch of missions. This feels like an organized play kit that you could maybe release every year. It adds miniatures and terrain to people's collections, and it would remove some of the burden from TOs in having all this stuff to run an event, and allow people to show up and play at events with everything they need to actually play the game, including terrain and mission packs and all that stuff in advance. So let's take a look right now at the components for Kill Team Arena. So here's the box contents painted up for Kill Team Arena. So what comes in the box? Well, you get 2 double-sided arena mats, Generatorium, an Armorium Depot. Oh geez, what are all the names? They all have fancy names. You get they all have kill zone rules too. So I can just figure this out by looking at the kill zone rules. Or the index. You got the Generatorium, the Catacombs, Armorium Stockpile, and the Garrison Vault. They all have their own styles on nice matte printed hardboard, and they fold out without any individual pieces being loose, so they completely fold out to make one mat this big in a standard Kill Team size. So this should be 22 by 30. You get 10 doors, all single piece miniatures. You get 6 crate piles, and they have to be put together in the configurations shown. So 2 stacked like this, 2 stacked like this, and 2 stacked like this, so you can have symmetrical deployment of all your terrain. You get 2 of these like Prometheum pipes, and you get 2 fuel depots that can explode. Now it is important they are all built the correct way. You have to build them in the format basically that they are shown, because they need to be deployed the same in every game. You get 8 competitive play missions, all of which have standard deployment stuff and rules, plus the actual map deployment. All terrain is preset in this. And then you get 4 Battle Brothers missions for doing team tournaments. So there are rules right in the book for doing team tournaments on top of that. You get 2 decks of arena objectives, so enough for 2 people to play. And you get a deck of all of the Battle Brothers stratagems that you get for when you're playing for team tournaments. So there's a ton of Battle Brothers ones, mostly because every faction gets their own unique one, plus a few generic ones for the Battle Brothers. And then finally get your rulebook. And the rulebook is divided into several sections. I'm just gonna go through the index with you guys. There's all of the kill zone rules for the different sides of these boards, basically. The rules for ultra close confines. It gives you the rules for the doors, blowing up the depot, or sorry, the fuel depot, and a new special tactic called Point Blank Overwatch. You can spend a CP to overwatch a model not in its starting position, but anywhere along its charge path, basically, if a model is targeted by a charge. So it means that because there's such tight corridors in here and all of these red lines are considered to be infinitely tall walls, I'm sure some creative individuals are going to make a drop-down set of walls for this too, so that you have terrain for all 4 of these boards. You basically you're not never making Overwatch shots, basically, as long as you have a CP that you're willing to spend. There's special rules for being obscured, can't fight through the walls, obviously, and that's really it. The kill zone special rules for these maps are pretty crazy. Things like hot as hell in here, -1 from hit rolls for everybody if they roll a 1, because it's so hot at the end of the movement phase. Venting steam, having all the doors immediately close if you've opened them. Stuff like that. You can hold doors closed by staying near them. It gives you basically a saving throw from opening doors, and doors can be opened at the beginning or end of a move to try and blow people up. And then on top of that, you have all your rules for defining terrain. Like I said, it has to be built in these competitive play format styles. So the crates and that stuff has to be built basically that way. And then your mission rules. So the other thing for doing this is that you get given 5 minutes each round to develop your kill teams. Now the things that don't come in this box, obviously, are all things you need to play kill team. You need your tokens, your dice, your measuring device, your kill team itself, and you need your cards. These become really important. Because when you build your kill team, you're given 5 minutes. Every mission has a no scouting phase, but they have a list of arena objectives, and that's what's in these decks right here. If you're playing the ultimate mission, which you'll see in the Let's Play today, you actually randomly deal out 6 of these and then pick 3. And then also you have to deploy your 100-point kill team face down as cards on top of that. So there's a preamble phase after you've set up terrain where each you and your opponent get 5 minutes to deploy 100-point kill team plus 3 arena objective cards, and then discard the rest. So your command roster becomes really important because you need to have a card filled out for every single model. Like, so if you're gonna go to a tournament, you have to have these cards and they have to be filled out. And then there's a big pre-game thing where you deploy them down, and you can only deploy models that are part of your command roster. So your command roster can be up to 20 guys in any configuration you want. When you actually deploy them and put them on the table, you've only got a set limit of time basically to do so. So in the normal missions, like a single competitive play mission that's kind of themed, you'll have a list of what arena objectives you can choose from, usually 5, and you discard 2. So like for instance, this one, which is secure the delivery site, you get death from afar, engage in all fronts, recon sweep, scout the field, and then thin the ranks. And then you have special objectives based on the map layout. So every mission has its own map layout. There's 4 different Battle Brothers missions. Now these require you to use 2 mats. And the mats are symmetrical, so if you're going to play Battle Brothers, you can't actually do it with a single copy of the arena box because you need to have the same, these are all 4 different, you have the same kill zone mats twice. So at least 2 people playing in the team tournament mission have to come with their own set of like the board tiles to play with. And then basically the rest of the book is devoted to like the stuff you're seeing here as physical components. So just like text descriptions of all the missions that are also on the cards. They're basically printed here twice for just like convenience sake. And then the actual like stratagems and stuff as well that you get. So these are arena objectives. These are all the missions. And then the one mission that isn't on a card, which I'll show you, is the procedurally generated one, which is the ultimate mission. And that's where you randomly determine a map. And they all have their own layouts, which we'll be using today. And then you deal out 6 objectives and play them. And then there's 3 objective markers on everything. And then you can try to, the primary is always controlling objective markers, and the secondary score off the card. And then the most interesting thing is that there's actually rules for the tournaments. Everything from registration and check-in, doing roster checks, rounds and pairing, how to use kill zones and missions, scoring each round, ranking people, breaks and results, how to use the miniatures, data cards, tokens, arena objectives, battlefields, and dice. All things that you have to have available. And then code of conduct, taking advice. So like players not being able to seek or take advice, you know, like during a game. Timeliness, the play area, spectating, cheating, and then other formats such as Battle Brothers and Ultima. So the standard format is using these missions and having them like pre-selected for the event. The Ultima format is having one be randomly generated for everyone each round. I think both those sound really cool. And then of course the team tournaments are an entity in and of themselves. And then that's really it. Asymmetrical events, so how to score them, and then an example for like your tracking sheet for doing scoring and stuff, and then using competitive play missions and campaigns. There's 1 page for using the campaigns if you want as well, and then what the material, intelligence, morale, territory results are for each of these missions on top of that. So basically what this is, it's taking the interior fighting rules from Rogue Trader, creating 4 new maps, giving you all the terrain you require for those maps, and then giving you actual like TO and organization advice for playing the games. So you do need a copy of the obviously your kill team rulebook, the core rulebook, your specific kill team stuff, all your tokens, all your measuring devices, and all your miniatures and your stat cards. The most important thing for Arena though are these. I know a lot of people don't use these when playing Kill Team, and you have to have these for playing an event. The nice thing is these did come in the organized play kit for stores, so chances are your local store might have piles of these, and I think there are decks of them available for sale as well. But do make sure if you're gonna go to one of these events that you have not only your command roster, but also all of your models filled out as cards. So you have a first look at the contents and box of Kill Team Arena. And so for the review portion of this, what do I think about it? Well, I think it's really exciting. I think it's exciting for a couple reasons. One, it's exciting because I think it's going to be a cool new way to play Kill Team and play it in an organized way. There have been Kill Team tournaments being run and events being done at local like big things, tournaments and like conventions and stuff, but this standardizes how to do it. What's really neat is this is the first time in 40K, at least, in a long time, that Games Workshop has come up with standardized competitive play rules. And that's a turning point for Games Workshop. They've stayed out of tournaments, especially for Age of Sigmar and 40K for a long time. But there are now official guidelines for how to run an arena event for Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. And the reason I think that's exciting is that I think that this could be very easily duplicated for Warhammer 40,000 and Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Imagine if the only responsibility, the only burden on tournament organizers was to give a 6x4 gaming space, and they didn't have to provide terrain, and everything else was brought by the players, and you could buy a kit each year basically for the tournament season for something like Warhammer 40,000 or Warhammer Age of Sigmar. It would remove arguments about terrain, about the quality of terrain placement. It could give you preset maps for how you put down terrain. And basically year on year, if you played in Age of Sigmar or Warhammer 40K events, grow your terrain collection so that you had terrain to play with at home too. I think that's a really exciting possibility. If you could do that very easily, I think for those games, you could have like 2 players show up. They each have their organized play kit that has 3 pieces of terrain, maybe in it, 3 big pieces of terrain, because there's lots of room in that box for more terrain if you didn't have the actual like cardboard play surfaces, which you wouldn't need for AOS or 40K. And yeah, you show up with 3 pieces of terrain, you show up with your book with all the event rules, you can even have mission cards and stuff for 40K and AOS, and then your TO just has to give you a spot. So the only thing that TO needs now is to run a venue hall and to put down 6-foot tables or gaming mats or whatever they want to use. It would remove so many barriers to running good 40K events, and it would also standardize the way they're played. I think that's really exciting. So I think this is a really cool experiment as basically a for sale organized play kit where everything you need to play in an event or tournament competitively is right there. And I think Games Workshop would be robbing itself if they didn't do something like this for Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000. It's a great product idea. It monetizes tournaments because right now it allows Games Workshop to actually get paid for people that are excited about competitive play. Or just sell them a cool box of terrain every year. You know, you make a cool themed piece of terrain every year. You could tie the terrain into things like campaigns or worldwide events or what's going on in the Age of Sigmar universe or what's going on in 40K. And if it's priced in the same format as Arena is, you're going to allow people to build at-home terrain collections basically as you go, almost like a yearly part play basically for having your own event terrain that people could have. It would make events easier to run in stores. Store organizers and store owners wouldn't have to have like their own terrain sets. Players would just show up with it, and it's just good for everybody all around. Now I know there's going to be some people that just say, "Oh, I don't want to have to buy terrain. I don't want to do that to run events." Okay, great. You know, if that's not for you, that's not for you. And of course, people, if this does become something that gets translated over to those games, will vote with their wallets. But I think it would be such a great, interesting way to make one, a sort of standardized gameplay experience for every event. 2, for Games Workshop to be able to do something new and exciting every year and have people be new and be excited about it every single year. And 3, just to take tournaments basically back and to have a say in how the games sort of run at a competitive level. So I think it's really cool. I think what it could mean for the mainstream games that Games Workshop does is really cool too. And I'm excited to see more of it. So we're gonna give it a try. You can check out the Let's Play in the cards just by clicking up here, or you can click the link below to go check it out, or just go to my front page and go check it out too. And see the game actually in play. I painted up a new Kill Team, and so did Owen. He painted some Tau, and I used my First Strike box that I bought ages ago to get the Death Guard out of to put a Death Guard Kill Team together. It's Rotmaw's Corruptors. So you'll get to see some Nurgle versus Tau. You can check that up right now and watch the game being played. So hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you for more reviews in the future. Big thanks for watching. Next time on Ash, have for gaming. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Death Ray Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.